Hello, it's David at Autobunker. You join me on a bracing autumn walk, and my petrolhead brain and I have been left together for 20 minutes or so, and I find myself compiling a list of the ultimate cars that I would love to drive if I had the best network of automotive contacts in the world. So I'm going to race back to Autobunker HQ, get that list written down, and I'll share it with you in this video. I would love to know if any of those cars features on your list. So stay tuned and I'll put together a top 10 of my ultimate dream drives. Oh, and I would love to know if you agree with my choices, whether you think it's a completely crazy and eclectic mix, or whether you think I've been far too heavily influenced by children's TV shows of the 1980s. It's all up for grabs. So I'll share the list with you. Let me know what you think. So here we are back at base. I've got the list out of my head onto the paper, been through and found pictures and images of all the cars to share. As I've been doing so, I've been keeping track of the purchase price of all of these cars. And my goodness, it turns out I am a man with extremely expensive tastes. So let's get into the list, see what they are and how much they're all going to cost me. Okay, so we might as well go big with the first car, the Mercedes-Benz W196 from the 1950s, as raced by Fangio, Sterling Moss, some of the biggest names in motorsport. These cars have a straight 8-cylinder engine, which you've ever heard one run at Festival of Speed or something like that. Sound incredible. I would love to take the wheel and just potter around in this thing. They're worth £30 million plus on the private market. So God forbid should you bend it or damage it in any way. But I would love to get on an old street circuit, an old circuit from the era, and have a drive and just hear that straight 8 engine rev. That would be the ultimate Grand Prix car for me to drive. Never mind the modern stuff. My neck and skills are nowhere near up to that. But one of these 196s would be absolutely incredible to experience. Toto Wolff, give me a call. Next on the list, I told you there was some 80s influence in here. A Dodge Charger in full General Lee spec. I used to love this show as a kid. I think probably looking back with rose-tinted spectacles, there was maybe more dialogue and talking than there was wall-to-wall car action. But I'm going to be very specific with the request to drive one of these cars. It's got to be on gravel. It's got to be in the States. It's got to be the all-authentic American experience. I would love to have a go on one of these. That V8 engine, the tiny wheels in comparison to the huge body, and massive angles of sideways. That would be a dream drive for me. Next up, we are going to take it to the track with a BMW E36 Touring Car from the 1990s, particularly in the Listerine livery, if at all possible. I used to absolutely love watching the BTCC on Saturday afternoons, and the Vauxhall BMW battle was one that really got my interest in motorsport and all things BMW going. So if I could get out on the track in an E36 from the 90s, that would be super cool. Next on the list is a step down in intensity, the Cadillac Coupe de Ville, 1959 to be very specific. It must have looked like it came from space back in the late 50s. What a cool car. I'll be very happy, windows down, rolling around somewhere warm like Miami or Cuba or somewhere, and experience the whole sight, sound, feel, smells of this amazing looking car. I think that would be one of the coolest motoring experiences ever to have. So if you own one, let me know. We're jumping forward to 1965 for my next choice. Of course, is to fulfill all of my James Bond fantasies, the Aston Martin DB5. What a beautiful looking car. Driven by Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig. I could relive all of my James Bond fantasies by a quick drive in one of these. If it was one of the more recent continuation cars with all the gadgets on it, that would be even cooler. I think they're around £3 million though, so an expensive choice, but a good one for me, nevertheless. We're getting a bit more up to date now with my definition of an analog supercar, the Ferrari F50, a V12 F1 inspired engine, a manual gearbox with the chrome gated shift. I would love to experience one of these. They're meant to handle like a big go-kart and they sound like nothing else, especially with a tubey exhaust or something like that on them. So if anyone has an F50 that they would like to lend me in the near future, please let me know. It would be great to have a go in one of those cars. The next one is a curveball, but it combines my two passions of being out on the water and driving. So why not choose an Amphicar? I'm sure it must be a complete and utter nightmare to own and maintain, but the joy of driving to your local lake, down the slipway, into the water with your picnic for a sunny afternoon of bobbing around, can't get much better than that. So I would love to have a go in an Amphicar. What a cool thing. If you saw my recent video about reliving childhood memories from watching the RAC rally at Chatsworth House, then you'll know that Group A rally cars hold a special place in my heart. And I think that Subaru legacy from that era, quite early in the Group A regulations, has to be one of the coolest cars that I would love to drive. I can pretend, and very much pretend, that I'm Colin McRae living out my sideways dreams through the forest. That would be so much fun. They are kind of expensive though, at least £250,000, probably £500,000 for a decent example. Another motorsport choice now, but a slightly left field one, from the Race of Champions when it used to be run inside sports stadiums. Stade de France in Paris, they came to Stratford in London one year, and the leveller between the rally and the circuit drivers was always the Race of Champions buggy. It was so spectacular to watch. You could see the suspension moving, the pitch and dive as they were using the brakes, and it was great fun to watch two people going head to head on a folded figure eight track. They always looked so fun, so sideways, and I would love to have a go in one of these ROC buggies. Okay, this choice appeals to the 8-year-old in me unashamedly. It is to have a go in a methanol-powered V8 monster truck. And in particular, I would love to have a go at the skills, getting up on the front wheels and balancing, driving on two wheels on the side. Not sure my spine is built for the incredibly high jumps that they bang out in these things, but the noise, the show, the flames, the sparks, the chaos of driving a monster truck is right up there on my wish list of dream drives. Okay, so I have been capturing the rough market values of my dream drive cars as I've been going through, and you can see here it's quite an expensive looking list. I need a cool £39 million almost to get my hands on all of these cars and to drive them. Oh, and I probably need a barn to keep them all in as well. So, hey, why not ask if anyone feels like lending me one of these cars so I can fill one of my dream drive experiences? Get in touch and I'll review it for the channel. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So thank you very much for watching. I would love to know if you agreed with my choices, whether you'd be seen dead driving any of them, or whether there's something completely different that you would go for. Please let me know in the comments. I've got the Autobunker social media pages up here. There's a link to those in the description below. It'd be great if you could follow those. And I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. I'll be along with more mad content of what's inside my brain on walks very soon, and some more driving videos as well. Thank you very much for watching.